Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your to-do list? That feeling when it seems like there's just not enough time in the day? Or maybe you've struggled to stay focused, your mind bouncing around like a ping-pong ball? Trust me, you're not alone. We've all been there. The truth is, traditional productivity hacks often feel like band-aids, masking the real issue instead of addressing it at its core. That's why I want to share something different with you. A system that's less about quick fixes and more about building sustainable habits. Today, we're diving into productivity stacking, the simple method to integrate focus and organization into your daily routine. This approach isn't about cramming more into your day, but about doing things differently. Let's get started. Before we can even begin talking about stacking habits and optimizing our days, we need to start with something fundamental. Awareness. It sounds simple, maybe even obvious, but you'd be surprised how often we operate on autopilot, completely unaware of the choices we're making and how they impact our productivity. I remember this one time, years ago, I was working on launching my first online course. It felt like chaos. I was juggling a million different tasks, constantly switching between writing content, managing social media, and answering emails. My to-do list was a mile long, and I felt like I was constantly playing catch-up. One evening, feeling completely overwhelmed, I decided to step away from my computer and take a walk. As I walked, I started paying attention to my thoughts. And that's when it hit me. I was so caught up in the doing, so focused on checking things off my list, that I hadn't stopped to think about what actually mattered. I was saying yes to every opportunity, taking on more than I could handle, and spreading myself way too thin. It was like I was on this hamster wheel of busyness, going through the motions but not really getting anywhere. That walk was a turning point for me. It made me realize that true productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things. And you can't do the right things if you're not even aware of what those things are. So, how do you cultivate awareness? It starts with paying attention. Notice how you spend your time. Identify your energy peaks and valleys. Become aware of your distractions. The more aware you become of your current state, the better equipped you'll be to make positive changes. Awareness is the spark, but intention is the fuel that keeps the fire of productivity burning bright. Living intentionally means making conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals so you can create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Think about it this way. If your life is a ship, intention is the rudder. Without it, you're at the mercy of the wind and waves, tossed around by every distraction and external demand. But with intention, you take control, steering your ship towards your desired destination. One practical tip for living intentionally is to start each day by setting a clear intention. This could be a simple statement like, "Today I will focus on being present and engaged in my work," or "Today I will prioritize my well-being by taking breaks and moving my body." Write your intention down somewhere visible, like a sticky note on your computer or a whiteboard in your office. Throughout the day, come back to your intention. Use it as a guiding principle for your decisions and actions. The power of intention lies in its ability to shift your mindset. When you're clear about what you want to accomplish and how you want to feel, you're more likely to make choices that support your goals. Remember, living intentionally isn't about being perfect. It's about making small, consistent choices that align with your values and move you closer to the life you want to create. The power of productivity techniques, your toolkit for success. Now, let's talk about the practical tools you can use to boost your productivity. There are countless techniques out there, from time management methods like the Pomodoro technique to prioritization frameworks like the Eisenhower matrix. It can feel overwhelming, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to try every single technique under the sun. In fact, that can often lead to more overwhelm and confusion. Instead, I encourage you to approach productivity techniques like a buffet. Take a look around, sample a few different options, and see what resonates with you. What works for one person may not work for another, and that's perfectly okay. The key is to find what works best for you, your personality, and your work style. Here's a little secret. It's not about the specific technique itself, but about the principles behind it. For example, the Pomodoro technique, with its alternating periods of focused work and short breaks, is essentially about managing your energy levels and preventing burnout. The Eisenhower matrix, which helps you prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance, is really about making conscious decisions about how you spend your time. Once you understand the underlying principles, you can start to experiment with different techniques and adapt them to your own needs. Don't be afraid to get creative. The most important thing is to find a system that helps you stay focused, organized, and motivated. Discipline, the bridge between intention and action. We've talked about awareness, intention, and even explored some powerful productivity techniques. But there's one crucial ingredient that ties it all together: discipline. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action, the force that propels you forward even when motivation wanes. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, and doing the work, even when it's hard. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Discipline? That sounds so rigid and uninspiring. But here's the thing. Discipline isn't about deprivation, it's about empowerment. Think of it this way. When you cultivate discipline, you're essentially training your brain to stay focused on your goals, even in the face of distractions and temptations. You're building a powerful inner strength that allows you to resist instant gratification and make choices that align with your long-term vision. One of the best ways to build discipline is to start small. Instead of trying to overhaul your entire life overnight, focus on building one small habit at a time. Maybe it's committing to a 10-minute meditation practice each morning, or dedicating 30 minutes every evening to working on a personal project. The key is to choose something challenging enough to stretch you, but not so overwhelming that you give up before you even begin. Remember, consistency is key. The more you practice discipline in small areas of your life, the stronger this muscle will become, and the easier it will be to tackle bigger challenges. Recognition and celebration fueling your productivity fire. As we reach the end of our journey into the world of productivity, I want to leave you with one final but incredibly important piece of the puzzle: recognition and celebration. In our pursuit of productivity, it's easy to get caught up in the never-ending cycle of doing, achieving, and striving for more. We check things off our to-do lists, set new goals, and constantly push ourselves to do better. While this drive and ambition can be incredibly powerful, it's equally important to pause, acknowledge our progress, and celebrate our wins, no matter how small they may seem. Think about it. How often do you take the time to appreciate how far you've come? Do you acknowledge the effort you've put in, the challenges you've overcome, and the progress you've made? Or do you tend to focus solely on what's next on the agenda, constantly moving the goalpost without taking a moment to savor the victory? Recognizing and celebrating our achievements isn't about being self-indulgent or resting on our laurels. It's about acknowledging our hard work, refueling our motivation, and cultivating a sense of gratitude for the journey. When we celebrate our wins, we reinforce the positive behaviors and habits that led to our success. We create a positive feedback loop that encourages us to keep going, even when faced with setbacks or obstacles. So how can you incorporate recognition and celebration into your productivity journey? It can be as simple as taking a few minutes at the end of each day to reflect on your accomplishments. Write down 3 things you're proud of, no matter how small. Treat yourself to something you enjoy, whether it's a cup of your favorite tea, a walk in nature, or an evening spent reading a good book. Share your successes with someone you trust, whether it's a friend, family member, or mentor. Remember, celebrating your wins isn't about bragging or seeking external validation. It's about honoring your efforts, acknowledging your progress, and cultivating a positive relationship with productivity. Your productivity journey starts now. So, there you have it, productivity stacking. It's not about rigid rules or complicated systems. It's about building a sustainable approach to productivity that works for you, your life, and your unique goals. What part of your productivity journey are you looking to reset first? Is it cultivating awareness, setting clear intentions, or finding the right techniques that resonate with you? If this video helped you in any way, please do me a favor and click the like button. It's a simple way to let me know that strategies like this are helpful to you. If you're interested in this subject, I could take a deeper dive. And if you want to be a part of this organizing and productivity journey, don't forget to subscribe and press that bell notification so that you don't miss the next episode. I'll see you in the next video. This is Organization with Susie signing off. Take care.